What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tirfon Orbital. So today I would like to quickly do a demo and talk a little bit about a chassis for an install that I completed on a Jedi Killer Gen 2 from Phoenix Props, right? So this is essentially the same chassis design that I've put in previous Jedi Killer Gen 2s, with the exception of one thing, right? So this chassis was done in MJF Nylon, right? And this is, I mentioned this before, but this is something that I want to start offering to people as an option when they get installs through me. I print from here specifically in resin. I like the detail that I can get out of resin. I'm just still, to this day, I'm not a fan of the processing and post-processing of resin prints, right? So I want to start offering MJF Nylon to customers if they want to go that route. MJF Nylon is significantly more impact resistant than resin, especially when you've got thin walls in places. Resin has a tendency to kind of crack. So I just want to start offering that as an option to folks if they want, right? So this chassis was done in MJF Nylon. I'm really, really happy with the result. I like the tactile feel of nylon, and I also, I do like the fact that it's a little bit more strong, right? So anyhow, let's come into Fusion really quick and talk about the chassis, and then we'll come up top. Okay, so here it is. This is the chassis for the Phoenix Props Jedi Killer Gen 2. This is a static chassis. We've got two indentations for tactile switches here. I've got a very small brass hat tack that sits here, and a regular, I think this is a 6x6 red button tactile switch that sits in this area. Both sides, both sides have greebly work. One side has a vent for some Neopixel shine through, right? So I slide my Neopixel strip up underneath this vent. Prior to doing that, I do attach some Mylar to the strip itself for some diffusion, and I wire it up and I slide the whole thing up here, right? Like I said, greebly work along both sides. We've got a 28mm speaker from Smugglers Outpost down here. Battery orientation is flopped. I usually put my positive leads or my positive tabs up towards the blade, but with this particular build, I do have the spring side, the negative side is up towards the blade in this one, right? And that's it. Kill switch sits down in here. Proffie board does sit in this tray. That's it. Nice and simple, right? Let's come up top. Okay, so here it is. This is the Jedi Killer Gen 2 from Phoenix Props. Sam from Shadowfoil did design the crystal chamber in this, and I have said this before, I am a huge fan of this crystal chamber. This entire module is just absolutely beautiful, right? Really, really nice looking hilt. This was sent to me by the customer with the request of just some light weathering, right? So I knocked back some of the edges on the hilt just to make it look like it's been used a little bit. But other than that, that's it. The red wire was not included. I think it looks better without the red wire. Having that red wire, running along the exterior of this hilt is also a little bit of a pain when you're trying to get the grip off and everything, right? So anyhow, to get at your chassis, you want to unscrew that grip. Here is the chassis, right? This was done in MJF Nylon. I'm really, really, really actually happy with the result and the detail that I got out of MJF. So MJF is, you typically get a little bit more detail than SLS nylon. But yeah, really, really happy with the result there, right? Here's our Proffie board. I did paint some accents on the chassis, and I also did a pass of pewter rub and buff, right? So let's get a battery. Okay, so like I said, spring is towards the blade on this build. So flat part of your battery towards the blade. Rest it in that battery tray.
Just a stubborn old man, tired of the foolishness of others.
Hit your kill switch. So there is the 2020 Neopixel strip accent. I don't know why I can't talk this morning. And that's it, right? Once you get your battery in and turn the hilt on, slide your grip in place and tighten until it stops, and then you're ready to go. So I do have two Neopixels on the top and bottom of this crystal chamber. And then, of course, we've got our lit PCB emitter. All right. Let's come down to the bottom. So there's that crystal chamber all lit up. See what else we put on here. I think I put the
That's a mirror. Won't be your grave.
let's put a blade in it. All right, so this is a 1-inch blade holder. Just kind of rest your blade on those PCB pins. There is a set screw in between these two vents here. You want to tighten that up till it, so it's just hugging your blade, and then you're ready to go. One more.
Ascension.
One more.
What is it? Light saber. It's the weapon of a Jedi.
Great hilt. I say that all the time. Yeah, it's a solid hilt, right? I'm really happy with how that chassis came out. Super happy with the install. That crystal chamber is like one of the best I've seen. Personally, I like the look of like an industrial type of crystal chamber that actually looks functional, right? It's got some copper heat sinks on it and everything. So really good looking hilt, really good looking crystal chamber, right? So to the customer, thank you very much for trusting me with your install. If anyone has any questions about this particular install or anything really, please do not be a stranger. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Have a good one, everybody.